What you believe has more power over your life than what you see with your physical eyes. Many people think their future is controlled by their circumstances, but circumstances are temporary and constantly changing. Belief, however, is a spiritual force. It shapes your reactions, your decisions, your attitude, and ultimately your destiny. If you believe you are defeated, you will act defeated even before the battle begins. If you believe you are capable, chosen, and strengthened, you will stand firm even when everything around you looks unstable. The eyes can deceive you. They show you the present moment, but they cannot show you what is forming behind the scenes. When you look at a seed in the ground, your eyes see nothing happening. But beneath the soil, life is already developing. In the same way, when you believe something by faith, even if you cannot see results yet, something is already moving in the unseen realm of your life. Belief activates patience. Belief gives endurance. Belief keeps you walking when others stop. Your belief system determines how you interpret challenges. Two people can face the same problem, yet respond completely differently. One may say, "This is the end," while the other says, "This is an opportunity." The difference is not the situation, it is the belief behind their thinking. When you believe that setbacks are temporary and that growth often comes through difficulty, you begin to respond with courage instead of fear. Belief also affects your words, and your words influence your direction. If deep inside you believe you will fail, your speech will reflect doubt. You will hesitate. You will withdraw. But if you believe you are supported, guided, and strengthened, your words will carry confidence. You will speak with clarity. You will move forward even when you feel uncertain. In this way, belief becomes the foundation of action. What you see today may be limited. You may see financial lack, health struggles, rejection, or delay. But if your belief is anchored in hope and faith, you will not allow temporary conditions to define your permanent identity. Vision based on belief allows you to live from the inside out rather than from the outside in. Instead of reacting to life, you begin to shape it. Belief also determines your level of expectation. When you expect nothing good, you prepare yourself subconsciously for disappointment. When you expect growth and breakthrough, you begin to look for opportunities. Your mind becomes alert to possibilities. Your heart becomes open to new doors. Expectation fuels perseverance. It keeps your energy focused forward instead of backward. Even your emotional strength is tied to belief. When storms come, fear tries to rise. But if your core belief is that challenges are part of a greater purpose, you will remain steady. You may feel pressure, but you will not collapse. You may feel uncertainty, but you will not surrender. Ultimately, what you believe becomes the blueprint of your life. Your actions follow your thoughts. Your habits follow your actions. Your character follows your habits. And your destiny follows your character. It all begins with belief. When you change what you believe about yourself, about your future, and about the possibilities ahead of you, you begin to change the entire trajectory of your life. What you see may describe your present, but what you believe determines your future. Your words are not empty sounds that disappear into the air. They are seeds. Every time you speak, you are planting something in your heart, in your mind, and even in the atmosphere around you. Many people do not realize that their daily confessions are quietly shaping their future. They speak defeat, fear, and limitation, and then wonder why their life feels heavy and restricted. But words carry direction. Words create expectation. Words influence action, and action produces results. When you constantly say, "I can't," you slowly train your mind to stop trying. When you say, "Nothing ever works for me," you begin to look for proof of failure instead of opportunity. Your brain starts filtering experiences through the lens of your confession. You may not notice it immediately, but over time your speech builds a pattern. That pattern becomes a mindset, and that mindset guides your decisions. On the other hand, when you change your confession, you begin to change your internal world. Saying, "I am learning," instead of "I always fail," shifts your focus from defeat to growth. Declaring, "This challenge will make me stronger," instead of "This is ruining my life," builds resilience. Positive confession is not pretending problems do not exist. It is choosing to speak hope in the middle of reality. It is refusing to let fear have the final word. Your words also affect your emotional state. If you wake up every day speaking gratitude and expectation, your spirit becomes lighter. Your posture changes. Your tone changes. Even the way you interact with others changes. People are drawn to confidence and hope. Opportunities often follow those who speak with belief because their energy invites collaboration and trust. Changing your confession requires awareness. Many negative statements are spoken out of habit. You might not even realize how often you criticize yourself or predict negative outcomes. The first step is to listen to yourself. Pay attention to what you say during stress, during failure, during delay. Those moments reveal your true internal script. Once you recognize it, you can begin to rewrite it. It also requires discipline. At first, speaking faith when you feel fear may seem unnatural, but repetition builds new mental pathways. The more you declare strength, the more your mind begins to accept it as truth. Over time, your new confession feels natural. Your perspective shifts. Your reactions become calmer. You stop magnifying problems and start magnifying possibilities. There is also a spiritual principle at work. Words carry belief, and belief releases power. When you speak with conviction, you align your thoughts and your emotions in one direction. That alignment produces momentum. Instead of being divided internally, hoping one moment and doubting the next, you become focused. Focused people move forward faster because their energy is not scattered. Changing your confession can also transform relationships. Speaking encouragement instead of criticism builds trust. Declaring appreciation instead of complaint strengthens connection. The atmosphere around you becomes healthier when your speech becomes intentional. Over time, the life you consistently speak begins to manifest in your behavior. You take risks you once avoided. You pursue goals you once postponed. You recover quicker from setbacks because your words remind you that failure is not final. Your future is not only shaped by external forces, it is shaped daily by what comes out of your mouth. When you choose to speak faith over fear, growth over limitation, and hope over doubt, you begin to redirect your path. Small changes in confession lead to powerful changes in direction. And when direction changes, destiny changes. Spiritual vision is the ability to see beyond your current circumstances and imagine the reality you are believing for before it becomes visible. It is not fantasy, and it is not denial of reality. It is the inner picture that guides your faith and gives your prayers direction. Without vision, faith becomes vague. You may hope for something better, but you do not clearly know what you are expecting. Vision gives shape to hope. It defines what you are standing for and what you are moving toward. Before any breakthrough appears in the physical world, it must first become clear in the spiritual and mental world. Everything that exists today began as an invisible idea. A building starts as a blueprint. A journey begins as a decision. In the same way, a breakthrough begins as a clear internal image. If you cannot see yourself overcoming, it becomes difficult to persevere. If you cannot picture restoration, you may give up too early. Vision strengthens endurance because it constantly reminds you of the destination. When challenges surround you, your physical eyes show obstacles. You see closed doors, limited resources, and unanswered prayers. But spiritual vision allows you to look beyond those images. It helps you focus not on what is blocking you, but on what is waiting for you. This shift changes your emotional response. Instead of reacting with panic, you respond with patience. Instead of sinking into discouragement, you stand with expectation. Spiritual vision also protects your mind from negativity. When you do not have a clear picture of your future, other voices will try to paint one for you. Fear will show you failure. Doubt will show you embarrassment. Past mistakes will replay images of defeat. But when you intentionally build a vision of healing, growth, success, or restoration, you replace those negative pictures with empowering ones. The mind moves in the direction of the strongest image it holds. That is why vision is so powerful. It also influences your daily behavior. If you see yourself becoming disciplined, you begin to act more responsibly. If you see yourself leading, you start preparing. If you see peace in your future, you stop feeding conflict in the present. Vision creates alignment between your future and your present actions. Without it, you drift. With it, you move deliberately. There will be moments when your vision feels challenged. Delays may cause doubt. Opposition may cause frustration. But vision is not sustained by emotion. It is sustained by commitment. You must return to that inner picture again and again, especially when external evidence seems absent. The breakthrough often comes after the period when you were most tempted to abandon your vision. Spiritual vision also deepens your prayer life. Instead of praying general requests, you pray specifically and confidently. You know what you are asking for. You can give thanks in advance because you have already seen it within. Gratitude grows stronger when vision is clear. Ultimately, spiritual vision keeps you connected to possibility. It reminds you that your present condition is not your final condition. It lifts your focus from limitation to potential. When you hold firmly to a vision of victory, healing, restoration, or growth, you create an internal environment ready to receive it. And when the inner world is prepared, the outer world eventually follows. Vision comes first, manifestation follows. Delay is not denial, is a powerful truth that can completely transform the way you respond to waiting seasons in life. Many people interpret delay as rejection. When something does not happen quickly, they assume it will never happen. When prayers are not answered immediately, they begin to doubt whether they were heard at all. But delay and denial are not the same thing. Denial means no. Delay simply means not yet. Understanding this difference protects your faith from collapsing under pressure. In life, timing plays a crucial role in growth and fulfillment. A seed planted in the ground does not break through the soil overnight. There is a hidden process taking place beneath the surface. Roots are forming, strength is developing, stability is being established. If the plant appeared too quickly without deep roots, it would not survive harsh weather. In the same way, when you experience delay, something unseen may be happening within you. Character may be forming, patience may be growing, wisdom may be increasing. When you mistake delay for denial, frustration sets in. You begin to compare your journey with others. You question your progress. You may even feel forgotten. But when you understand that delay can be preparation, your perspective shifts. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" you begin asking, "What is this season teaching me?" That question alone changes your emotional posture from resistance to growth. Delay often strengthens desire. When something takes time, you value it more deeply. Quick results can sometimes produce shallow appreciation. Waiting builds endurance. It stretches your faith beyond comfort. It teaches you how to remain steady even when external confirmation is absent. This endurance becomes a powerful inner anchor. Later, when greater responsibilities or blessings come, you are emotionally and mentally prepared to handle them. There is also protection in delay. Sometimes you are not ready for what you are asking for. Sometimes circumstances around you are not aligned yet. If certain opportunities came too soon, they might overwhelm you or lead to mistakes. Waiting allows pieces to come together in ways you may not see immediately. What feels like inactivity could actually be strategic alignment behind the scenes. Delay also reveals the depth of your belief. It is easy to declare confidence when everything moves quickly. True conviction is tested when there is silence. When days turn into weeks or months without visible change, your faith becomes refined. You learn to trust without constant reassurance. That kind of trust builds resilience that cannot be shaken easily. Emotionally, delay can feel heavy. Doubt may try to whisper that nothing will ever change. But that is the moment when perspective matters most. Reminding yourself that not yet does not mean never keeps hope alive. Hope fuels action. It prevents you from quitting prematurely. Many breakthroughs are lost not because they were impossible, but because people gave up during the waiting period. Understanding that delay is not denial helps you remain proactive. Instead of sitting passively, you continue improving yourself. You develop skills. You strengthen discipline. You deepen your mindset. You prepare as though the opportunity is certain because you believe it is coming in the right time. In the end, delay can become one of the most transformative seasons of your life. It stretches your patience, strengthens your character, and clarifies your priorities. What once felt like a setback becomes a setup for greater maturity and stability. When you embrace the truth that delay is not denial, you protect your faith from discouragement and position yourself to receive what is coming with confidence and gratitude. Pressure and waiting seasons often feel uncomfortable, even painful, but they carry hidden purpose. When everything in life moves smoothly, growth can become shallow. It is during moments of pressure that your inner strength is revealed and developed. Just like muscles grow when they are stretched and challenged, your character expands when you are pushed beyond your comfort zone. Without resistance, there is no strengthening. Without challenge, there is no deep transformation. Pressure forces you to confront your limits. It exposes fears, weaknesses, and insecurities that might otherwise remain hidden. While this can feel overwhelming at first, it is actually an opportunity for awareness. You cannot grow beyond something you refuse to recognize. When pressure reveals areas where you lack patience, discipline, or confidence, it gives you a chance to build those qualities intentionally. Instead of breaking you, pressure can shape you. Waiting seasons work in a similar way. When you are required to wait for results, answers, or breakthroughs, you are learning endurance. In a fast-paced world that values instant gratification, waiting feels unnatural. But patience builds emotional maturity. It teaches you how to remain steady when progress seems slow. It strengthens your focus and helps you avoid impulsive decisions that could create long-term problems. During waiting seasons, your mindset is refined. You begin to evaluate your motivations. Are you pursuing your goal for recognition or for purpose? Are you committed to growth or just to quick results? Waiting strips away shallow intentions and reveals what truly matters to you. It clarifies your priorities and aligns your heart with deeper values. This inner clarity becomes a foundation for long-term success. Pressure also increases resilience. When you go through difficult moments and survive them, your confidence grows. You realize that you are stronger than you thought. The next challenge does not intimidate you as much because you have already faced hardship before. Each season of pressure becomes proof that you can endure more than you imagined. This resilience prepares you for greater responsibilities and larger opportunities. In addition, pressure teaches problem-solving and creativity. When resources feel limited or obstacles appear, you are forced to think differently. You explore new approaches. You develop adaptability. These skills are essential for growth and leadership. Without pressure, you might never discover your capacity to innovate or adjust. Waiting also builds discipline. When progress is slow, consistency becomes your greatest tool. You learn to show up every day, even without immediate reward. This consistency strengthens habits that eventually produce visible results. Many people quit when they do not see instant change. Those who embrace waiting seasons build perseverance that sets them apart. Emotionally, pressure can feel isolating. You may feel misunderstood or discouraged. Yet these moments deepen your inner stability. You learn not to depend solely on external validation. You become grounded in your purpose rather than in applause or approval. This inner strength allows you to move forward with confidence regardless of external opinions. Ultimately, pressure and waiting are not obstacles to growth. They are instruments of preparation. They stretch your patience, sharpen your focus, and strengthen your endurance. What feels like a delay is often development. What feels like restriction is often refinement. When you emerge from these seasons, you are not the same person who entered them. You are wiser, steadier, and stronger. And because of that preparation, you are ready to handle the blessings and responsibilities that come next with maturity and confidence. Aligning your thoughts, words, and expectations with faith instead of fear requires intentional daily practice. It does not happen automatically, because the human mind naturally reacts to uncertainty with doubt. Fear often speaks louder and faster than faith. That is why you must train yourself to respond differently. Alignment begins with awareness. You must first notice what you are thinking throughout the day. Pay attention to recurring negative thoughts. Do you often assume the worst? Do you expect rejection, failure, or disappointment? Awareness exposes patterns that need to change. Once you recognize these patterns, you can begin replacing them deliberately. Faith-filled thinking is not about ignoring reality. It is about interpreting reality through possibility rather than limitation. When a problem appears, instead of thinking, "This will ruin everything," practice thinking, "This challenge will teach me something valuable." That small shift changes your emotional reaction. Over time, these small shifts accumulate and reshape your mindset. Another practical step is guarding what you allow into your mind. Your environment influences your thinking. Constant exposure to negativity, criticism, or hopeless conversations feeds fear. Choose content, conversations, and relationships that strengthen your belief and encourage growth. This does not mean avoiding reality, but it does mean being selective about what dominates your mental space. What you consistently hear becomes what you consistently think. Your words must also align with faith. Begin each day with intentional declarations. Speak confidence even before you feel it. Say, "I am growing, I am learning, I am capable," or "Today will bring progress." At first it may feel repetitive, but repetition builds conviction. Your brain responds to consistent messages. When your speech reinforces possibility, your mind begins searching for evidence to support it. Gratitude is another powerful tool. Fear focuses on what is missing, faith focuses on what is present. By practicing daily gratitude, you train your mind to see blessings rather than deficiencies. Take a few moments each day to list things you appreciate, even small ones. Gratitude shifts your emotional state and strengthens optimism. It reminds you that progress is already happening, even if it feels slow. Expectation is equally important. Ask yourself what you are anticipating. Are you expecting problems or opportunities? Your expectations shape your behavior. If you expect rejection, you may hesitate and hold back. If you expect growth, you step forward more confidently. Develop the habit of visualizing positive outcomes. Imagine yourself handling situations calmly and successfully. This mental rehearsal prepares you to act with faith when real moments arise. Discipline plays a key role in alignment. Faith is not a one-time decision, it is a daily choice. There will be days when fear feels stronger. In those moments, return to your practices: awareness, replacement of thoughts, positive declarations, gratitude, and visualization. Consistency builds stability. The more often you choose faith, the more natural it becomes. It is also helpful to reflect regularly. At the end of the day, review your thoughts and responses. Where did fear influence you? Where did faith guide you? Reflection strengthens growth because it keeps you accountable to your own development. Over time, these practical steps create harmony between what you think, what you say, and what you expect. When these three areas align, your confidence increases. You respond to challenges with clarity instead of panic. You pursue goals with determination instead of hesitation. Faith becomes your default posture rather than a temporary reaction. And as this alignment strengthens, your direction in life becomes clearer, steadier, and more purposeful.